All right, guys, today we are going to be talking about something we call NSVs, non-scale victories, what they are and why they are important. What are NSVs? NSVs are a thing we call, as you heard in the intro, non-scale victories. They are so important because, guys, we spend so much time focusing on that darn number on the scale in a way that is not healthy at all. And if you've watched my YouTube video on my eating disorder, you have seen that so many years of my life have been spent worrying about hyper-focusing on thinking that if I could get that number to a certain thing on the scale, then I would be enough, then I would be worthy, then all the good would happen. That number, guys, I did not realize that number did not define me, nor would it ever define me, but I was allowing the pressure and the stress that it was creating me to define who I was being and what I wasn't becoming, because that number was controlling my mind, my heart, my soul, my life. It is a vicious, terrible cycle. It's a trap that we all get caught in. And really, we end up playing this thing called lottery. We get stuck in lottery syndrome, thinking, if I win the lottery, then I'm going to be happy, kind of a thing. If I hit this number on the scale, then my worries and fears are going to go away. We had people on the show that thought, when I hit my final win, when I'm at the finale, when I'm here, when I have my skin surgery, then I am going to be happy. The problem is, if that is the mentality you have, if your goal is solely focused around a number on the scale, that number on the scale is something you cannot always control. It fluctuates with water weight, etc. If your goal is around that, you are inevitably always going to be disappointed. You might touch the number for a minute, you might reach your goal for a minute, you might step on stage and look exactly the way that you want to look for a minute, but there's always going to be some kind of a bounce back. Our bodies, guys, they ebb and flow. They go up, they go down, we gain weight, we lose weight, we have water weight, we lose the water weight, yada, yada, yada. And if we really think about it, the number on the scale is going to do the same. A lot of it depends on, are our bowel movements regular? Not that that's a thing you want to think about, but the reality is, if they're not, we're going to gain weight. If we eat salty foods the night before, the number on the scale is going to show up because we have consumed and taken in more water than we normally would. I mean, think about this. How many times have you been on a plan, eating perfectly, doing all the movement you're supposed to be doing, eating great, drinking all the water, blah, blah, blah. The list goes on. You're checking every single box. Maybe one week you're 140 pounds. The next week you step on the scale. Sure, you're going to lose weight. You get on the scale, you're 143 pounds. And you're like, how in the world did I gain fat over the course of the week? And we literally assume that we just worked our butts off. We ate perfectly, we ate clean, we drank our water, all these things. And we are wrongly assuming that the weight we gained is fat weight. I am here to tell you that weight that your body is showing is water weight. It's water weight or excess weight that's in your bowels, and it can be caused by hormones. Maybe it's that time of the month. Maybe around, after the time of the month, you retain a little bit more water. It could be caused by the foods you ate the night before or the days prior. It could be caused by water retention inside of your muscles from heavy workouts. There are so many things that can cause the number on the scale to ebb and flow or rise up, even when we are doing our best. And when that number is the sole focus of our goal. That simple act of stepping on a scale and seeing the scale go up 3 pounds is enough to shatter anybody and make us not be motivated at all to continue and make us feel like a failure that we are not. But because we feel like a failure, we're not going to try again. We're going to quit. We're going to fall off the wagon. We'll actually gain more weight back because we stopped eating right. And the vicious cycle of us telling ourselves that we are a failure starts yet again. This is why non-scale victories are so important, because we have to have things. If we can compute and we can accept and acknowledge that the scale will inevitably go up and go down and go up and go down, and that the journey of transformation is not the numbers game. The true journey of transformation is integrity, keeping our promises, all the things that I've talked about before. And it looks like this. It's a seesaw pattern. Some weeks we have a big weight loss, some weeks we have a gain, some weeks we have a loss. But over time, the trend is in the direction that we want it to go. This is why patience is so important. In fact, if I'm coaching somebody and they come to me one week and they say, I gained weight, or I didn't lose weight, what can I do to speed this up? My first reaction is, give it one more week. I will never let somebody change their plan after 1 week of a gain or a plateau, because oftentimes their body just needs time to process it. Now, after a week, then we'll determine, okay, are we eating too much sodium? Are you working out too hard? So we will troubleshoot it before we start dropping their calories, because once we drop their calories, you can't go back. You can, but it just takes time and we have to reverse diet. So us though, having something and knowing that this is normal part of the process, acknowledging and accepting that is huge. The second thing I want you to do is understand and appreciate that non-scale victories and having a focus outside of the number on the scale is the thing that actually matters most. Non-scale victories, what are they? They are things like fitting into your clothes better. I mean, if we have people that have gone 4, 5, 6 weeks without losing a pound, right? But as those 4, 5, 6 weeks happen, what actually is happening inside of their body is they are recompositioning. They are gaining more muscle, burning more fat, taking up less space physically, but their weight might be staying the same because they're getting more muscular and their clothes are fitting better. So that is a massive non-scale victory. One, where if that person would have let the number on the scale guide them, it would have thrown them off track. Another non-scale victory is having your measurements go down. That's a big one. If you're not taking progress photos and you're on a journey and you're not taking measurements on a journey, you're making a mistake. It's not too late. Start now. Photos and measurements are amazing non-scale victories. Another non-scale victory is focusing on muscle gains and overall definition. Don't focus on the number on the scale, but appreciate and enjoy that when you look in the mirror, you're starting to see a bicep, or maybe when you look in the mirror, you're starting to see abs, or maybe you're seeing definition in your legs, you're seeing a calf muscle for the first time. Guys, that's what it's all about, and it is worth celebrating. That's what I want to say before I name any more non-scale victories. Make sure, if these are things you're noticing, these are things you are celebrating because they are more worthy of celebration than any number on the scale. Another type of non-scale victory is less chronic pain. Maybe your doctor's taken you off of medication because you are more physically fit and a clean bill of health from your doctor. I mean, that is an amazing non-scale victory worthy of celebrating massively, because I'm sure after all, many people are trying to lose weight because they are trying to become healthier. We forget, as we're trying to become healthier, we're trying to get a cleaner bill of health from our doctor. We forget that that number on the scale isn't really what we were after to begin with, but actually to get healthier. So focus those victories as they happen. Some other non-scale victories, maybe you realize you have a better pattern of eating. Maybe your endurance is improving. Maybe you feel resilient and like you can handle more stress. So mentally and emotionally, the effects of your nutrition plan and your workout plan are actually coming to fruition. Maybe you are becoming a better person because of it. One of my favorite non-scale victories is that I have more energy. I notice myself sleeping better. I notice myself feeling mentally sharper. I mean, how many of you guys have had times where you are so worried about the number on the scale that you're willing to eat so little, you go so low carb, you're depleting yourself in a way that has you sleeping crappy, it has you mentally foggy, it has you low energy. You have to ask yourself, why am I so focused on the number on the scale when the effects of this are me not feeling good? If you are feeling better, if you are mentally sharper, if you're sleeping better, job well done. The number on the scale will catch up if it's meant to. And one of the final non-scale victories of so many, I mean, the list could go on, and I want to challenge you to actually make a list of your own non-scale victories, is your ability to reach a milestone or accomplish a goal is become present. Like, you are aware, you are reaching these milestones, you're running further than ever, you're reaching the goal, you're able to do a triathlon, you're able to, whatever your goal has been physically, you now know it's a thing you can do. It is so important. Anytime someone comes to me and says, I want a better body, or I want to have abs in a bikini, or I want to be a certain number, whatever it is, anytime it ties to a number on the scale, I say, okay, what is the physical goal that we can tie to this that is not numbers related? Having a goal outside of it. Well, what if we talk about, do you want to do a pull-up? Do you want to learn to do 20 push-ups? Do you want to learn to do a back handspring? What kind of a goal can we attach to the numbers goal so the numbers goal does not define who you are, but your accomplishment and your non-scale victories do? So guys, I hope today is a big wake-up call. Why? The number on the scale does not mean everything, but who you're becoming along the way is what matters most. Let's focus on those non-scale victories. Let's identify them and let's celebrate them. Guys, please subscribe. Let me know if there's more you want to hear. Mwah.